Tonight, the St. Augustine police chief is considering body cameras for their officers. Many people are demanding police use body cameras in St. Augustine. The police chief has heard that request for years, and now he believes his department may very well need those body cams. Jessica Clark reports on what the chief is now doing about this issue.
St. Augustine Police Chief Barry Fox may be having a change of heart when it comes to body cameras for law enforcement. For years, he's had concerns about how much they cost. Now he's considering them. Chief Fox said this in a city commission Zoom meeting.
It's not my perception that really counts. It's the public's perception of what law enforcement needs to do its job. I am re-engaged in that conversation.
He is now pricing different products and taking input from the public about equipping his officers with body cameras. St. Augustine Mayor Tracy Upchurch believes there is broad support for police body cameras locally and said in that meeting,
but it's something we really need to do as all law enforcement departments in St. Johns County, not individual departments, because of the tremendous interaction between the three.
The two other law enforcement agencies in the county don't have body cameras either. The St. Johns County Sheriff's spokesman says the cameras may cost around $5 million for his agency, and they're not in the budget for next year. He says they're trying to simply pay for more deputies needed in the fast-growing county.
Shut it down!
Some rally organizers protesting police brutality are demanding St. Augustine police have body cameras. The chief says the public will need to support paying the price tag. Meanwhile, he says the protesters have told him they're not against the St. Augustine police.
I've actually been embraced by this.
In St. Augustine, Jessica Clark, First Coast News, on your side.